Well, you can't say that Embark Studios don't move to the beat of their own drum. Today they announced two things through the Arc Raiders Discord. They're not planning any additional playtest before the game's October 30 release, and Arc Raiders won't be appearing at Gamescom, which many in the community had expected, myself included. So let's talk about all of that. Before we dive in, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, just know that I'm a member of Embark Studios Creator Program, so I've tagged this video as a promotion to keep that relationship nice and transparent. Earlier today, Embark Studios customer support lead Dusty Gustafsson posted the following in the Arc Raiders official Discord. Raiders, the team here in Stockholm is in full gear, getting ready for release on October 30. Our focus is now on polishing and expanding the experience and putting all the learnings from Tech Test 2 into action ahead of release. Just so you know, we're not planning additional public tests before launch. We've learned from our last announcement that it's crucial to keep expectations in check. So we also want to be clear that we won't be at Gamescom. But don't worry, our launch campaign will kick off before you know it. We'll have many more updates for you in the lead up to launch. Thank you for all the support and encouragement you've been sending our way. It means the world. So firstly, they're making sure their communication is crystal clear leading up to the game's launch, which is great, given that the lead up to the release date trailer appearing at Summer Game Fest wasn't ideal. Secondly, having no playtests between now and launch was what I'd been expecting, although I know there'll be a portion of the community who will be disappointed or somehow see it as a misstep. But it's hard to deny that the game was in excellent shape during Tech Test 2, and so any learnings they take from that playtest should see it releasing in a wonderful state. It feels good to be saying that about a game these days. As far as the hype for the game goes, if there's no future playtest used as a marketing beat, then Embark will need to use other avenues of marketing to fan the flames of the massive hype that we saw through Tech Test 2. So it's going to be super interesting now to see how they handle that. Which brings me to when we'll next have an Arc Raiders announcement. Given that Dusty made a point of telling us they won't be appearing at Gamescom, which has its opening night live on August 19, that implies that they aren't planning on announcing pre-orders for the game before August 19. Otherwise, they wouldn't have needed to announce this at all, and could have just surprised us with a pre-order announcement this week, for instance. So, when will we hear from them again? I think we can probably rule out an announcement around the launch of Season 8 for the finals in mid-September, purely so the two games don't stand on each other's marketing toes. So that probably places an announcement either at the end of August or early September, or at the end of September. Any later than that, and they'd be starting to run out of time to build up hype before the game's launch. You could read, our launch campaign will kick off before you know it, as suggesting it will be sooner, not later. But then Embark could choose to have a much shorter, much more intensive campaign starting at the end of September. For sure, there's going to be conversations in the community about Battlefield 6 and how its marketing campaign could overwhelm that of Arc Raiders, or that the game might steal a portion of the Arc Raiders community. I checked out Battlefield 6 during the open beta over the weekend, and as someone who's played Battlefield for over 20 years, I'm saying right now that Battlefield 6, purely from the perspective of the game, will have minimal impact on the success of Arc Raiders. We're talking about a first-person shooter where your character's life might average 2 minutes in length, compared to a third-person shooter where you might die once an hour. These two games are going to provide players with starkly different dopamine hits. Sure, there might be a portion of the community that wants to buy both games and only have the money for one, and settle on Battlefield 6, because its increased pace over some of its previous titles is more their preferred style of game right now. But likewise, there'll be people who've played a lot of Battlefield, like me, and are looking for a slower change of pace. These two games aren't really competing directly head-on. Having said that, given the scale of marketing we've seen for Battlefield 6 already, with something like 200 content creators flown out to LA for the multiplayer preview event before the open beta, the lead up to Battlefield's launch on October 10 is likely to be massive. So Embark Studios might be wise to avoid the couple of weeks leading up to that, simply so they don't get drowned out by what will be surely a noisy marketing juggernaut. My guess is we'll hear about Art Creator's pre-orders in late August or early September, but from what we've seen from Embark today, you never quite know. They might just surprise us all. Thanks for watching the video to the end. A big thank you to the members of my channel for their ongoing support, especially my Black Tier members TJ and Thoronike17, and of course to Embark Studios for having me as a member of their creator program. Both are greatly appreciated. Do the usual YouTube business if you want to see more videos from me from now on. Give a like or comment as you see fit, and enjoy the rest of your day. Kia kaha. Stay strong.
Everybody knows the world ain't right. Down on your knees, get up and fight.